Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. In fact, if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you know we're talking about a lot of light in the sky, because 2 days ago there was a fabulous full moon at 15 degrees of Leo. And Leo is lit by the sun. Leo rules children and sports and Hollywood and glamour and the theatrical world, the whole entertainment field. And it rules the heart, the back, and the blood supply as well. And it rules horse racing and gambling and a good time. And in particular, Leo rules love affairs. And those were all highlighted under the full moon in Leo 2 days ago, as well as luck. And that is what Leo rules as well. And that is because the moon and Jupiter, the planet of goodness, were conjuncting each other. And those two wonderful planets were trining Uranus in Aries, which rules new beginnings, and Uranus rules sudden change. And also, those three planets together were trining Saturn in Sagittarius, which was long-distance travel, the courts, higher education, and people in foreign countries. So all of those things are marvelously well aspected right now, because there are so many planets in the fire signs, and that is wonderful. But we do know that under a full moon, the moon opposes the sun. And so there was the moon and Jupiter in Leo opposing the sun, and Mercury in Aquarius. Jupiter is retrograde and Mercury is retrograde. And so what we have is a sort of a standoff among fixed signs between people who want to just have a good time right now and are feeling sort of lucky and want to start something new, and other people who are focused on plans for their future. That's what Aquarius rules. But because Mercury is retrograde, there could be a little delay in communication or plans right now. And also because Jupiter and Mercury and the sun and moon are opposing each other, there can be some sort of separation coming up, as someone may want to go on their way and start something new. So all of the things that the fire signs represent, fast action, being a little bit impulsive, certainly being passionate, as well as being high-minded and philosophical and wanting the best for everybody, those things are really well aspected right now, which is wonderful. So what that means is that momentum is building for improvements throughout society. And it's sort of about time, isn't it? So people can be wanting to go forward now and make it a better world in one way or another, or improve their own lifestyle. And they can do that right now because of this full moon, which denotes 4 planets in the fire signs. And so that's wonderful, because it simply means that if you have an opportunity to improve your life in one way or another, you should pursue that. This is an absolutely wonderful time for it. That doesn't mean that you're going to be able to finish everything right now, particularly your communications or your plans. They may not get the final stamp of approval right now, because those 4 planets in fixed signs were squaring Taurus and Scorpio, which are fixed financial signs. So I don't think everything's getting funded right now, but at least you could go forward and get the ball rolling as far as your dreams or your hopes or your goals go. And that is why there is the possibility of some swift, sudden change that can promote some sort of future progress right now. And why would that be? Because it isn't all up to just you and me to make our future dreams come true. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes, and there are things that we may not know about at all. And the reason why there can be a lot going on behind the scenes is because Venus, Neptune, and Mars are all in Pisces, which rules hidden enemies, areas of confinement, and things going on behind the scenes. Mars in Pisces could denote someone who has evil intent, or could be very jealous and vindictive and want to do sort of bad things behind the scenes. But now that Venus is conjuncting Neptune in Pisces, it means that there can be somebody very kindly or somebody who is idealistic and wants the best for everyone, and they can be working perhaps on your behalf behind the scenes as well. And so we may not know how our plans or our goals are going to turn out right now, but at least we can get them underway, which is really good. And you could be very lucky this week. You should at least maybe buy a lotto ticket, because Leo does rule luck. And remember, Jupiter is there. So it is really good for children and for sports and for the entertainment field. But the reason why the show is called The Show Must Go On, that title, is because Leos in particular know how important it is to keep a smile on their face, to keep presenting a positive image despite heartache or despite disappointment or despite delay. And so since it is the sign of royalty, it simply means that you really have to sort of keep a stiff upper lip if something is bothering you right now, and press forward anyway with your plans, even if your heart could be a little disappointed in something or even broken. So if you have to make a change right now, look forward, not backward, because I think your future can be looking pretty good as long as you aim for it right now. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, you could be on a roll, and that's wonderful, because after all, the full moon and Jupiter in Leo 2 days ago were trining your sun sign where you have Uranus, and also they were trining Saturn in Sagittarius, which is trining your sun as well. And that just simply means, Aries, that if you wanted to sort of break out and make some sort of sudden change very impulsively or very passionately, you really could do it successfully right now. So I don't think you should stay in the same old place, particularly if something is bothering you. Why don't you just get out of there, Aries? Because you could do that right now. You could move, maybe quite suddenly, but you could do it in a way that would be very, very easy for you right now, Aries. Or there is the possibility that you may want to try something new in a different location, for instance, in your job, and you could probably get a green light on that right now, because there may be some opportunity that opens up quite suddenly. You could have friends behind the scenes that could be helping you out, and then you could be in a new place and starting something wonderful. And your sign rules new starts, Aries, so you really should look for a new start right now, because you'd be successful at it, it would be easy, and you would be a whole lot happier. And you could get a little help from your friends right now, and that is what probably could make quite a difference. So good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is simply a time when I think that you are going to be looking at very high expenses. And the reason why is that your sign is being squared by that full moon and Jupiter in Leo, and by the Sun and Mercury in Aquarius. And so there you are, sort of caught between a rock and a hard place as far as expenses go, or taxes could be high. And it is because yours is the sign of the good provider, and Leo does rule children and love affairs and sports. And so you might be tempted to overspend right now or be a little extravagant. Leo does rule extravagance and generosity. So since Jupiter is squaring your sun, it could make you sort of overdo things as well. And so you may have spent a little too much lately, Taurus, or you could have, since you do have good taste, you could be somewhat amazed at how high costs are right now. And that could be preventing you from being able to stretch your budget as far as it needs to go. So you need to be a little bit careful. And if there is some sudden opportunity that opens up quickly behind the scenes for you, remember Uranus in Aries is right behind your sun, you ought to look into it. So there is the possibility of some sort of sudden change in the background of your life, Taurus, but you know it's aspected for success. So even if it takes you by surprise, I hope that you respond favorably to it, because it could do you a lot of good. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when you stand to gain, even if you're just staying in the same place. And that is because you could get real lucky, Gemini. The full moon in Leo along with Jupiter were sextiling your sun, and the sun and Mercury, your own ruler in Aquarius, are trining your sun. And that means that if somebody wants to make some sort of new start, even if the communication is not complete or the plans haven't been totally approved yet, it could work somehow in your favor, Gemini. So you could look around for some sort of change that somebody else is making that could turn out to be beneficial for you, because I think it could be. And also you could just plain be lucky. Maybe you should buy a lotto ticket right now, or you could be getting good news about children or sporting events or someone in the entertainment world. Or as I mentioned before, Leo does rule love affairs, so you could have romance on your mind, Gemini, and there could be somebody pretty nice headed your way. Good luck. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, a Cancer, this is a time when I think that you are going to benefit from any kind of change that is made behind the scenes, whether you know about it or not. And that is because there is so much change behind the scenes, and that is occurring because Venus, Neptune, and Mars are all in Pisces, and they are trining your sun, Cancer. And so I think that either you're going to be able to see people making changes behind the scenes, or you may just have a hunch of what is going on, and your hunch could be pretty accurate right now, Cancer. So there can be changes that could work in your favor. Maybe somebody is really speaking quite favorably of you behind the scenes, and that would certainly be of benefit to you. But at the same time, Pluto in Capricorn is opposing your sun, and so believe me, people are in the end, particularly people in high places, are going to insist on having a balanced budget and making sure that their bottom line stays intact, and that profit is their motive. So they're going to be a little bit hard-headed about money right now, and that isn't the way you work at all. So there may be some opportunity for you, Cancer, that is not on the terms that would make you happy, and so you might want to step away from that and decide that it isn't really worth it to you. And that is a possibility. Even if someone is speaking favorably of you behind the scenes, you may, once they get down to talking money, you may decide that whatever the terms are or whatever the amount is, it's not what you're really looking for, and therefore you may just want to step back and sort of wait and look for something new instead. That full moon was right ahead of your sun sign along with Jupiter, so you may see a wonderful and lucky opportunity to advance, and I think that you should pursue that instead. You don't know where it's going to lead, but it could be delightful. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, the full moon 2 days ago was in your sun sign. Lucky you, because it was conjuncting Jupiter, that planet of goodness and benevolence. And so you could be right on the brink of starting something new, and it could come out of nowhere, but it certainly would be something that you would be interested in, Leo. So I think that despite any heartache or disappointment that you have privately in your life, or despite the fact that there isn't really quite enough money around now for you to do everything that you want in the style that you want to do it, still, the opportunity to make a new start with Uranus and Aries trining your sun, and to be serious and make a deep commitment as well with Saturn in Sagittarius trining your sun, is really good right now, Leo. And there is quite a bit of light on you, Leo. People can see you fully and in a very favorable light as well. So whatever is going on behind the scenes, I think it's going to benefit you. It may not be right now. After all, I said, communication may not smooth out, or our plans may not be in the final stages until after Mercury goes direct next week, but by then, the middle of February, or even no later than the 1st of March, I think something can really work in your favor. So I hope you're open to opportunity right now, Leo, because I think it's looking for you. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when it's very lucky for you that there are changes going on behind the scenes, because Mars and Neptune in Pisces were opposing your sun sign, and that means that you could have had to put up with somebody that was pretty vindictive or vicious or cruel in one way or another, and they were doing it sort of behind the scenes, but you might have noticed it, and you know, you could have been a little bit miserable with somebody in your work area or in a neighborhood that you live in, or just in some activity that you're involved with. But now that Venus has gone into Pisces along with Neptune, and they are opposing your sun sign, but they are such good planets, it simply means that someone is sort of coming to your rescue right now, Virgo, and able to say good things about you or help you favorably behind the scenes. So there may be some good news coming your way as soon as your ruler, Mercury, goes direct next week. So be patient for now, because friendly forces are moving in. And I think that you're going to be a lot happier, particularly by the middle or the end of February. So good luck. Just be patient for now. All right, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think that you can certainly benefit from the fact that the full moon and Jupiter in Leo were sextiling your sun, meaning love is in the air somewhere in the background of your life, Libra, and that could be really nice because I think that's what you're in the mood for. And also the sun and Mercury in Aquarius were trining your sun sign. So I think you're sort of in the right spot right now, Libra, for getting some good news, which might be delayed right now. Maybe it's not going to come for another week or so, but I think it will be good news. And it will promote some future project that you really are interested in, Libra. So I do think something's going to open up for you. Uranus in Aries is still opposing your sun, but that planet is so well aspected by this grand trine in fire signs that I think that it can do no wrong right now, and therefore if there is a sudden change in someone else's life, that could tend to bring out the best in you and benefit you as well. So I don't see how you can really lose right now, Libra. You just have to be at your smiling best and look for opportunity, because it is around. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when you may want to sort of be really patient with others, and that is because the full moon and Jupiter in Leo were opposing the sun and Mercury in Aquarius, and all four of those planets were squaring your sun sign, Scorpio. So I don't think that you have the way to go forward now. Even if you had all the money that you wanted to back a dream of yours right now, I think that there's some missing pieces, or there are contacts that you still need to make, or there are other people that are sort of getting in the way, wanting to do their thing, and really all you want to do is concentrate on your ideas right now. So you do have to be a little patient and wait right now, because matters behind the scenes are working in your favor right now, Scorpio, but you almost have to get out of the way and let somebody else do something right for you. And that is because Venus, Neptune, and Mars in Pisces are all trining your sun, and Mars is your own ruler. It's not going to hurt you at all. In fact, it's going to help you. But I think that what you have to do is sort of be really, really quiet right now, Scorpio, and if you happen to notice things are changing around you, I wouldn't talk about it too much right now. Just wait and see how things shake out after things behind the scenes do change, and then settle down, because they really will benefit you. So I think you just need to be real quiet for another week or two. And so I hope you are discreet. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius, this is a wonderful time for you, Sagittarius. You could go on a trip, perhaps to a foreign country, since that's what your sign rules, because the full moon and Jupiter in Leo were trining your sun, and Uranus in Aries is also trining your sun. So for sure, Sagittarius, there is going to be some way for you to make a new start now. And you could see that pretty clearly. In fact, I think there are going to be some wonderful, generous friends that can help you make a new start right now. So I think it's all systems go for you, Sagittarius, and I think you need a little bit of good luck. And it is around right now. So this is not a time to be a couch potato. This is a time to be out in society, because there are people around now that really want to improve society. They want to make good improvements, and they want life to go on in spite of any kind of disappointment or setback. Remember, the show is titled "The Show Must Go On." That means we've all got to go forward and try our best anyway, no matter what else has gone on in our past. So this is a time when you could really turn a corner, Sagittarius, and make a new start. And if I were you, I would just take anything and try it out right now. You don't have anything to lose. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is simply a time when you really do benefit from changes that could be going on behind the scenes, but I'm not so sure you know what they are. And that is because the 3 planets in Pisces all sextile your sun, Capricorn. So there is activity going on behind the scenes. You may not exactly know what it is, but I think you're in the right place to benefit from that, Capricorn, since all 3 of those planets sextile your sun. And that's good, because there aren't any planets in the other earth signs. So you're sort of standing there alone, insisting on doing things correctly and properly, and not in a hurried way at all, but in a way that can sort of ensure success and stability, because that's what your sign rules, particularly security and stability. Uranus in Aries is still squaring your sun sign where you have Pluto, and yet that Uranus is so well aspected right now that if somebody is a little unstable or they are a little rebellious, that's all right. They'll just go on their way, and that could bring you a lot of relief, Capricorn, and you may not have to do anything anymore, because if a problem goes away, then you are simply going to have much more peace of mind, and that will be good for you. It'll make you happy, and it's because somebody leaves, and that could be really nice right now for you. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, it's rather lucky for you that you have the Sun and Mercury in your sun sign. Mercury is retrograde. It'll go direct next week. But the reason it's lucky is because Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it rules communication and change because it's the ruler of Gemini. It also rules detailed analysis because it's the ruler of Virgo. And those 2 planets in your sun sign Aquarius were being strongly opposed by the full moon and Jupiter in Leo. And so I think that even though you have wonderful ideas right now, Aquarius, and you can express them rather well, and even if they are not complete, they haven't completely gelled, and I don't think they are funded at the moment either, and they may not be for a while, but still you could have great ideas. I think instead, though, that the spotlight is on someone else, certainly on whoever is rather lucky right now, or whoever wants to get the ball rolling on something, or whoever is very enthusiastic and willing to do anything to sort of keep the show going. And that is the kind of attitude that people in management who are looking at that bottom line really like. And so I think if you're wanting to make a change, maybe you could do that, and maybe it could be a quick change as well. But the spotlight is definitely on someone else right now, and that may eventually lead to some sort of separation as you go your way and they go theirs, straight towards something new. You instead, Aquarius, should perhaps go back to somewhere that you've already worked, or you should go back to somewhere where you've already lived, or to something that you've done before, because Mercury is retrograde. And oddly enough, if you went back to see an employer that you used to know, they could welcome you with open arms, Aquarius. So taking a step back right now might be the way to get forward in your future instead. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, it's wonderful that Venus is now in your sign, because it is actually conjuncting Neptune, which is a very benevolent aspect, and it indicates that you can be wanting the best for everybody, including yourself, and you can be very idealistic about making it a better world right now, or improving society in one way or another. Your sign also rules charity and forgiveness, and you may be in the frame of mind to sort of forgive and forget right now and overlook a few things that used to bother you in the past, and I urge you to do that. Mars is still in your sign. You could be a little uptight about some things, but it is going to be moving on very soon. And so I think that if you just sort of relax right now and sort of let yourself wind down a little bit, Pisces, you would be much happier. It's sort of like taking a pause or breathing a sigh of relief, which I think you can do. There could be some good news or some help from others behind the scenes that can benefit you right now, Pisces. So I don't think you have to go too far or do too much. I think you just need to try to relax a little bit right now. All right, thanks so much for watching the show. Remember, you can see it anytime you want by subscribing to it on our website, starborninstitute.org. Bye.